One of the standout personalities from Pawn Stars, Austin Chumlee Russell, finds himself incarcerated tonight following a dramatic courtroom scene in Las Vegas. The atmosphere was charged with emotion as the judge delivered the final ruling. Overwhelmed by the gravity of the decision, Chumlee broke down in sheer disbelief, his collapse sending ripples of shock through the courtroom and leaving spectators utterly speechless. What triggered this highly charged moment in court? And how did the beloved reality TV icon find himself in such a fierce clash with the legal system? Below, we dive deep into the fiery courtroom drama that culminated in this jaw-dropping outcome. If this gripping tale has captured your attention, be sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and voice your opinions in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe for your daily dose of breaking news and captivating stories. Stay tuned for more updates. Chumlee, the adored cast member of Pawn Stars, has long been celebrated as one of reality television's most charismatic figures. With his laid-back charm, quick wit, and genuine on-screen presence, he has become a cornerstone of the popular History Channel series. Over his decade-long career, Chumlee has created countless unforgettable moments, such as the time he traded his personal collection of video games for a high-end pinball machine, a deal that further cemented his legacy in the world of entertainment. Beyond his instantly recognizable catchphrases, Chumlee's influence extends well past the realm of television. His contributions to the collectibles industry, his pivotal role in skyrocketing the gold and silver pawn shop's popularity, and his calculated efforts to craft a distinct personal brand all highlight his remarkable transformation, from a behind-the-counter pawn shop worker to a full-fledged cultural icon and small-screen legend. Chumlee's ascent to stardom was fueled by his effortless charisma, down-to-earth appeal, and unwavering dedication to staying true to himself, even when skeptics doubted his potential. Though he was frequently positioned as the show's comic relief, he resisted being pigeonholed into that role alone. Instead, he poured his focus into becoming an expert in niche collectibles, ultimately proving himself as an indispensable part of the Pawn Stars ensemble. His magnetic presence on screen won over legions of fans, solidifying his reputation as one of the show's most beloved stars. What truly distinguishes Chumlee, however, is his rare ability to resonate with audiences on a deeper, more authentic level. His reach stretched far beyond TV, turning him into a nationally recognized personality. Moreover, his entrepreneurial pursuits underscore his sharp business acumen, as he skillfully expanded his brand into lucrative ventures outside the pawnshop. Chumlee carefully cultivated his personal brand through business endeavors like his candy store, clothing line, and paid public appearances, allowing him to accumulate substantial wealth. These financial resources later became crucial when he needed to mount a legal defense against serious allegations that stunned his devoted followers. As Pawn Stars achieved greater success, both the program and Chumlee's individual journey began evolving in distinct directions. The show's popularity exploded after its premiere, transforming into one of cable television's most watched programs. With more than 500 episodes produced and continued availability on streaming platforms, Pawn Stars maintained its winning combination of educational content and polished production values, securing its place as one of reality TV's most informative yet entertaining offerings. Simultaneously, Chumlee found himself navigating the complex realities of sudden fame. Audiences immediately connected with the affable character they saw on television, and his public appearances consistently drew massive crowds, demonstrating that his appeal reached far beyond the pawn shop's walls. However, the growing divide between his cheerful on-screen persona and his private difficulties created underlying tensions that persisted for years. "I essentially lived two separate existences," Chumlee reflected. "Celebrity makes you feel untouchable. I wanted to savor every second, especially when fans would stop me everywhere I went." This mindset led to increasingly opulent lifestyle choices. While Pawn Stars remained focused on historical artifacts and business transactions, Chumlee's personal world expanded to include high-end vehicles, an extravagant home, and extensive collections of designer sneakers and jewelry. His social media accounts, filled with glimpses of his expensive purchases, garnered millions of engagements, creating a public image that differed dramatically from his modest origins. During the mid-2010s, the parallel trajectories of Chumlee's professional achievements and personal indulgences became particularly noticeable. As Pawn Stars reached its viewership zenith with special episodes attracting audiences exceeding 7 million, Chumlee expanded his entrepreneurial ventures, including the launch of his Las Vegas candy store and various merchandise lines. Yet beneath the surface, the demands of constant public scrutiny started taking their toll, putting his hard-earned success at risk. Chumlee frequently attributed his personal challenges to the jarring transition from obscurity to celebrity status. "One day I was just another guy. The next I couldn't run errands without stopping for hundreds of fan photos," he confessed during a rare moment of vulnerability. "I started relying on unhealthy coping mechanisms that almost destroyed everything I'd built." This private turmoil created a striking dichotomy with the polished professionalism of the show's production. By 2016, the disparity between Chumlee's on-screen character and off-camera reality had become impossible to ignore. While Pawn Stars continued presenting him as the endearing, childlike fan favorite, his personal life was spiraling down a dangerous path that would soon become public. Years of progressively irresponsible behavior culminated in serious legal consequences when Las Vegas police conducted a surprise raid on his residence that March. The search was initially connected to a sexual assault probe. "We were executing a court-ordered warrant as part of an active investigation," clarified Officer Rodriguez during a subsequent media briefing. This announcement sent shockwaves through entertainment news circles. However, the discovery of unexpected evidence during the raid resulted in additional, unrelated charges that stunned both fans and industry observers. Entertainment media outlets exploded with speculation about how these developments might affect both Chumlee's career and the future of Pawn Stars. When TMZ published their exclusive report a week later, the revelations were more severe than anyone anticipated. Authorities had uncovered firearms, controlled substances, and drug-related equipment in Chumlee's home, a disturbing contrast to the wholesome, goofy personality viewers adored. The news prompted intense reactions across social media platforms. One longtime fan's viral post captured the collective disappointment. "This completely shatters the image we had of him. The guy we laughed with on TV seems like a completely different person." The incident forced many to reconcile the lovable television character with the troubled reality. If you're fascinated by these dramatic celebrity transformations, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming deep dives. Share this with friends and family to get their perspectives too. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think drives people to make such radical changes to their appearance and lifestyle after achieving fame? For longtime viewers of Pawn Stars, Chumlee's legal troubles came as a complete shock. The cheerful, easygoing persona he projected on screen showed no hint of these darker realities. This jarring disconnect between his television character and actual lifestyle ultimately proved to be his undoing. In the subsequent legal proceedings, prosecutors assembled a strong case, leveling several serious felony charges against the reality star related to illegal firearm possession and controlled substances. The gravity of the situation became clear when legal analysts noted conviction on all counts could result in a maximum 20-year prison term. Beyond the immediate legal jeopardy, these developments endangered the carefully constructed public identity Chumlee had cultivated over years of television success. The entertainment world reeled as the case unfolded, with industry insiders questioning whether this scandal would permanently derail one of reality TV's most famous careers. Court documents painted an especially damning picture, detailing the extensive cache of weapons, including military-style rifles, and various narcotics uncovered during the home search. Adding another layer of complexity, it was revealed the original warrant stemmed from a completely separate sexual assault probe, though no charges were ultimately filed in that investigation. The sheer volume and nature of the evidence presented a stark contradiction to the harmless, bumbling character audiences thought they knew. While no formal charges resulted from the sexual assault allegations due to lack of conclusive evidence, investigators emphasized that Chumlee's lifestyle choices presented clear dangers to community welfare. Prosecution filings strongly advocated for imposing the harshest possible sanctions, citing both the substantial volume and hazardous nature of the confiscated materials. The trial's opening proceedings established an immediate air of gravity as Chumlee made his first courtroom appearance. The relentless burst of camera flashes capturing his unusually solemn demeanor. Notably absent were any supporting cast members from his Pawn Stars family, leaving the once beloved television figure to confront his legal predicament alone. Your Honor, we're dealing with egregious violations of both narcotics and weapons statutes, the lead prosecutor declared during opening arguments. The defendant's residence contained what amounted to a small armory, alongside significant quantities of prohibited substances. The already tense atmosphere grew palpably heavier as evidentiary photographs flashed across courtroom displays. Chumlee maintained his downward gaze, only occasionally shaking his head when particularly incriminating exhibits were presented. This visual documentation prompted heated exchanges during cross-examination that further electrified the proceedings. Would you characterize these findings as indicative of narcotics distribution? Chumlee's defense attorney pressed the testifying officer, suggesting the seized amounts exceeded reasonable personal use thresholds. While the investigator affirmed this assessment, he conceded the absence of typical trafficking indicators like measuring devices, distribution packaging, or customer ledgers. The weapons testimony generated particularly dramatic moments. Would you acknowledge my client has publicly demonstrated collector tendencies, including historical firearms? The defense probed. The prosecution's arms specialist countered. Collecting requires proper licensure and secure storage protocols, injecting additional legal complications into the case. Observers noted Chumlee's increasing agitation as he conferred urgently with counsel, prompting a judicial reminder about proper courtroom decorum. Sentencing specialists provided sobering analysis about potential outcomes. The conjunction of illegal narcotics and unregistered firearms typically triggers mandatory minimum sentencing structures, explained legal analyst James Wilson. This combination represents one of the most serious scenarios under current statutes. Chumlee's legal team built their case around his previously clean record and the distorting effects of sudden fame, contending that celebrity culture fostered the poor decision-making that led to these circumstances. They maintained that his unprecedented public visibility created an environment where ordinary boundaries gradually dissolved into reckless excess. My client became swept up in a perfect storm of fame and poor judgment, his attorney contended, emphasizing that Chumlee had never malicious intentions and had maintained numerous positive qualities throughout his public life. As the proceedings drew to a close, devoted viewers watched anxiously. This wasn't merely a criminal case, but the possible unraveling of an entertainer whose charm stemmed from his everyman quality and approachable demeanor. Plea bargain discussions dominated the trial's latter stages, with attorneys embroiled in high-stakes negotiations. These confidential talks carried implications reaching well beyond potential incarceration, threatening to erase years of professional achievements. Financial analysts projected devastating losses in the millions, while industry experts questioned whether Chumlee could ever reclaim his position on the hit series, regardless of the verdict. On Judgment Day, the courthouse buzzed with unusual energy as supporters gathered, some waving handmade signs of encouragement, others sporting official Pawn Stars apparel. Presiding Judge Michael Davidson maintained solemn decorum as he oversaw the climactic hearing. After accepting a guilty plea on reduced charges, the magistrate meticulously examined the settlement terms, balancing leniency against societal concerns. A hushed tension filled the chamber as Chumlee stood motionless, barely concealing his nervous tremors. The defendant has entered guilty pleas on single counts of unlawful firearm possession and minor narcotics violation, the judge declared, confirming the dismissal of remaining charges. Defense attorneys shared subtle looks of cautious optimism, while their client maintained a stoic expression. However, Judge Davidson continued sternly, the court cannot ignore the grave public safety implications of unsecured weapons coupled with controlled substances. The final judgment imposed a 3-year probation term mandating psychological evaluation, substance abuse counseling, and randomized drug screenings. All confiscated items would be permanently forfeited, but the most surprising stipulation emerged when the court delivered an unexpected bombshell. Any probation violation would trigger an automatic 3-year prison term, without possibility of appeal or additional hearings. With these stringent provisions, the judge formally approved the plea agreement. Mr. Russell, the magistrate declared firmly, this court sentences you to 36 months of supervised probation under strict compliance monitoring. Any infraction, however minor, will result in your immediate imprisonment for the full 3-year term. Do you fully comprehend these conditions? While this outcome spared Chumlee from potentially spending 20 years incarcerated, the weight of his narrow escape and the precariousness of his current freedom visibly crushed him. His initial relief transformed into horrified realization as the judge continued enumerating the terms, including mandatory completion of 200 community service hours. The reality star's complexion turned ashen, perspiration breaking across his forehead as the courtroom seemed to tilt around him. His attorney, sensing impending crisis, gripped Chumlee's forearm in an attempt to ground him. But too late. The entertainer who had charmed audiences with his lighthearted antics suddenly pitched forward, his body betraying him under the accumulated stress. Gasps erupted as bailiffs scrambled to assist the collapsed star, his ragged breathing audible throughout the chamber. Medical personnel urgently cleared space, shouting for water while photographers captured every chaotic moment of the television personality's public breakdown. The shocking scene instantly became international news, eclipsing the legal proceedings themselves. Pawn Star's fan favorite collapses in court, blared headlines worldwide, accompanied by images of Chumlee prone on the courtroom floor. Outside, cameras captured Rick Harrison briefly checking on his longtime colleague, while clusters of concerned fans exchanged stunned reactions. Social media erupted with support. Chumlee, strong and #Pawn Stars, family trending globally as well-wishers flooded platforms with messages of concern. 3 days later, a visibly shaken but smiling Chumlee appeared in a video statement from home. Confronting consequences apparently doesn't agree with me, he quipped weakly, before turning serious. My doctor's orders are clear. Better decisions moving forward. He's absolutely right. This health scare appeared to catalyze an unexpected transformation in the reality star's public image. In a dramatic development, the History Channel took decisive action. According to insider reports, network executives remained cautiously optimistic about Chumlee's eventual return to the show following his recovery period. An undisclosed production source suggested the network viewed his legal ordeal as potential material for a genuine comeback narrative, though official spokespersons declined to confirm any specific plans regarding his future involvement. In his subsequent public address, Chumlee struck an uncharacteristically solemn tone. I allowed my public image to distort my decision-making, he acknowledged with visible remorse. The choices I made nearly destroyed everything I've built. Pausing to collect himself, he added, this second chance means everything to me, and I intend to prove worthy of it. Entertainment analysts immediately noted the dramatic shift in his public persona. As a veteran reality personality, Chumlee now found himself at the center of an organic redemption arc that resonated deeply with audiences. Media observers documented his apparent commitment to focusing on legitimate business endeavors, while meticulously adhering to all court-mandated obligations. Fan support surged across digital platforms, with countless messages advocating for his television comeback despite the absence of any official announcements. When pressed for details about a potential return to Pawn Stars, both Chumlee and network representatives remained non-committal. My immediate priority is maintaining my health and demonstrating consistent, responsible behavior, Chumlee stated thoughtfully. The cast and crew have been my extended family for over a decade. I aim to earn back their trust. What initially appeared as a career-ending catastrophe had remarkably transformed into a pivotal moment of personal growth. Viewer interest in the series remained robust, with many longtime fans vocally supporting Chumlee's eventual reinstatement to the program that launched his celebrity. For those who witnessed his evolution from an obscure pawnshop assistant to household name, this legal saga delivered a sobering lesson about celebrities' hidden dangers. His dramatic courtroom collapse didn't merely represent a personal crisis. It potentially signaled the emergence of a more genuine identity, breaking free from the manufactured persona viewers had come to know. This raises important questions about how sudden fame can distort personal judgment and decision-making. What are your thoughts on celebrity culture's psychological impacts?